Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Portland Design Works Gravity Plus USB Smart Bike Taillight. Portland Design Works Gravity Plus USB Taillight is a classic dual LED light that's one of the brand's brightest taillights. Even though the taillight has been part of PWD's lineup for a number of years now, the taillight has a lot of modern features that helps it stay relevant and competitive. Packaging wise, you can see really cool. Almost looks like a BMW color scheme with the white, the blue, and the red with the nice diagonals. You have the taillight fully exposed with this little cardboard cutout, so you can actually play with it. You can see the specs and additional details on the back and information on the light. I'll go ahead and open this up. We'll go over the full specs. Retail price on this is $40. It's a 100 lumen bike taillight, and it even has a built-in brake sensor, so it can change the mode automatically when it detects that you're slowing down. Portland Design Works also includes a backpack clip, as well as a seat post mount, which is always nice to see. And it has a dual direction design, so you can mount this vertically or horizontally by simply flipping the mount. It's also USB Type-C rechargeable, which is a nice modern interface and makes it really easy to charge on the go. As far as what's included, you can see basic packaging, the taillight itself, user manual, USB Type-C charging cable, the seat post mount, and then the body clip pre-installed on the taillight. Now let's take a look at the weight of the taillight. So the taillight by itself with no mounts attached is 42 grams. The body clip is additional 4, and then the seat post mount is about 23 grams. Visually, the Portland Design Works taillight has a classic taillight design with a big red plastic body and extended lens. You have 2 single LEDs inside this, with a very basic lens design with some curvature and additional detail on to help distribute the light. The design really reminds us a lot of the Planet Bike Super Flashlights, which is a really classic taillight most people have seen. It is pretty much all plastic, very basic branding. It's that Portland Design Work logo on the bottom, this upward arrow and the plus, which indicates the Gravity Plus. So pretty simple and looks really nice. You can mount it horizontally, vertically, whichever direction you want, as the mount has a square shape. So it's kind of a cool idea. With the mount, you can see you have the body clip attachment, and you can attach it in any direction you choose. So you can do it vertically, you can do it horizontally, you can flip it around. So it really supports any direction, which is nice to see and makes it really easy to use. The mount also has a seat post mount, and these use the body clip with the seat post mount. So it's a 2-piece design. So you can always use the body clip, you don't have to store it somewhere. And you can see below the mount, there's also the USB Type-C port, which makes it really easy to charge. So you can see if I reattach the body clip, I can then slide that on to the seat post mount and then attach it to the bike. So it's a nice 2-part design. Very sturdy seat post mount, so thick rubber, and feels a lot more substantial than a lot of mounts we've seen in the past. This is not really compatible with arrow posts, so you need a round seat post, as this is not particularly long, but nice thick rubber, and you can see how it hooks in on the side. This mount is what PWD calls their Sputnik, which is a play on words of the Russian Sputnik rocket. So you can see it actually has an adjustable angle design. You really have to push hard, but this whole thing has 3 positions. So you can see you can go all the way down, go up, and you really, again, push hard, and you can feel the little notches as it rotates. So very stiff, won't really move around while you're riding, but helps ensure the taillight is always vertical with the road, which is especially important because you have the brake sensor. The other note is you want to make sure you turn on the taillight when it is vertical, because there is a 1-second calibration that's done on every power-up. So if you were to mount this or turn it on when it's sideways, the brake sensor wouldn't work properly. You can also see the brake sensor in action. So if it detects braking, it goes to a full 100 lumen constant mode. And the user interface is super simple. So it's a single rubber button at the center, right in the middle of this. And then there's only 2 modes, so you don't have a bunch of modes or customizations. It's either constant with the bottom one on, or flash mode that flashes between the top and bottom. And then the brake sensor mode, which is the constant, but at 100 lumens with both LEDs. It's really easy to use. There is no way to turn off the brake sensor, so that means your run times may vary quite a bit depending on how often it triggers. So if it triggers a lot, obviously your runtime is going to be lower than the advertised amount. Now let's take a look at the output modes of the taillight. There's only two modes. You have a 20 lumen constant mode that's good for 12 hours. And then you have a daytime flash, which is 80 lumens and 30-hour runtime. To get the full 100 lumens, you have to get the brake sensitive trigger, which will illuminate both LEDs in a constant mode, while the normal constant mode, as you saw, is only 20 lumens and the bottom LED. So it's a very big distinction and it's very obvious to see. So as you can see here, as I'm flowing down, it'll switch from daytime flash to the full constant mode for the brake warning. It's not a perfect calibration, so a little bit overly sensitive. You can see as I accelerate, it triggers again. And over some bumps, if your speed adjusts a little bit, you can see it triggers. It would have been nice if you could disable this mode, as this will drain the battery, so you won't really get the full 30 hours, especially if it triggers consistently. But otherwise, a nice bright taillight. It's a little bit dated in design, so not as modern as some of the Magicshine See Me lights with their cob LEDs, but very effective. It's very bright. You have great side visibility with that extended lens. And with the 2 LED design and the daytime brightness is very good, so you can see nice and bright with the single LEDs and a nice irregular flash pattern. So you can see here we have a selection of Magicshine, KNOG, Ravemen, and iGPSPORT. Compared to the other ones, you can see it's a much more classic design. Something like the Magicshine See Me taillights are a lot more modern. They still have dual LEDs, but you can see quite a bit more focused, and they take advantage of cob LEDs to get that cool effect. So even when it's off, you have a nice white effect, but when it's on, you see that cool reflection of the light. Comparing the two, you can see this one's a lot bigger and bulkier and just not as modern looking, but still quite bright, and you do have the nice focus LEDs with the bright flash patterns. Magicshine also has their See Me 200, and both of these have these downward facing LEDs, which is always cool. But again, it's just definitely a bigger light. So here's the See Me 50. And you can see, again, really cool fiber optics effect. So the side is actually lights up when it's on. So here you can also see the See Me 50, which has this cool effect when it's on. You get the reflection of the cob LEDs inside it with this fiber optic design, while the PDW is a little bit more bulky. We also have the KNOG Rider or KNOG Blinder 150. The R150 is as a focus LED, and again, really cool cob effects rather than just having a big plastic body. We also have the Ravemen TR 500. So this is 500 lumens, super bright with 3 LEDs, and again, see just more compact compared to the bigger body. And the more classic lights like the Trek Flare R, you can see are a lot more compact, so single LEDs, so about half the size. With a similar adjustable mount design, so it has a little slot design. You can actually rotate this as well, but the whole mount rotates versus the Portland Design Works clip that actually removes and installs. The Trek ones have a little bolt. So a little bit different design, but you can see double LEDs versus single. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the Portland Design Works Gravity Plus taillight. What we like about it is you have bright output, so you have 2 strong LEDs which are visible from longer distances. You also have the dual direction mounting with the body clip, which is a cool design, so you can put it horizontally or vertically, which is an option you typically don't have with most taillights. It also has very simple operation with only 2 modes, so you have a daytime mode and you have a nighttime mode, which is more than enough. A lot of companies tend to add too many modes, which makes it more complicated. With this one, it's really the minimal amount you need. The negatives with this taillight is the fact that it looks very dated. It's an old style taillight that's obviously a few years old already, and looks more like the older taillights instead of having a modern appearance. Very basic low battery status indicator. Would have been nice to have a multi-LED indicator. And the brake sensing function cannot be disabled, which means your run times will be a little bit less predictable. Would have been nice if they had an option to disable it. Taking everything into account, we give the taillight an 8 out of 10. It's a simple and effective bike taillight, but it has a little bit dated design and non-configurable options. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.